Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now in today's video we're going to wrap up the three-part series taking a look at some ThorFire EDC flashlights. In my prior two videos we took a look at the TK15 and the VG15S, as well as some batteries and a charger. Very nice, capable flashlights, excellent for EDC. And today we're going to cover the VG10S. So again, this is the third video of this series. And this VG10S I have been carrying a ton. I really like this flashlight. It is excellent, nice size, nice weight, great beam pattern, basic features. I mean, just very simple. But nice quality basic features, and I can highly recommend this. So let's do a quick little look at this thing and I'll compare it to the other two flashlights and we'll wrap it up. So if you take a look at this VG10S and comparing it here to the VG15S and that TK15, you'll see that all three of these are reasonably similar in size. However, that VG10S does have an increase in the overall size of the head of the flashlight. So a little bit larger here, larger bezel, overall larger lens, and a little bit better of a thrower. So this to me has outperformed the other two. Generally you will see this nice hefty heat sink on the front here. Basically I have yet to see this thing even heat up, and I just let it rip all the time, and this flashlight's been great. I do overall like the weight and the size. It's very good in my pocket. I don't have any problems with it whatsoever. The clip's been solid and a very nice flashlight. I mean, overall, excellent construction. This is nice aluminum and aircraft aluminum, and just machined well, no hard or rough edges, and just overall very, very nice. So basic, simple, and high quality. So you can see here on the VG10S, this has a 1 lumen moonlight mode, a 50 lumen low mode, 300 lumen mid mode, and 1100 lumen high mode, as well as that strobe. So it has 4 modes where these other flashlights basically have 5. So it is programmed a little bit differently, but I like that. I feel like that's an appropriate number of modes, and then that spread between the 1 and then the 50 and then the 300 and then the 1100. I mean, that's just like a nice spread. It's all it really needs to be. I feel like sometimes flashlights get a little bit too fancy and they try to work a little bit too much into it. So just having those 4 modes is quite nice, and it does take a double press to get into that strobe mode, so you can cycle through the different intensities on the beam without accidentally hitting the strobe, which is definitely nice. So good spread between them. I am not a fan of the 0.5 lumen moonlight or firefly modes on these other lights, and that 1 lumen is just about right. So that is an improvement as well over those other two flashlights. Now in terms of the pocket clip, you really can't flip this around. There's only one spot for this to go on, and sometimes, like I've said with other flashlights, you're able to kind of thread off the tail cap. Oops, rolling away on me there. Unthread the head and then flip the body around. But here you'll see the head of this flashlight is monstrous. It is much bigger than the tail side, and also you know, it's male thread, female thread pattern, so really only one way this can go in. Before I put that in real quick, you will see that it is O-ring gasketed, so water resistant for sure. And then we'll just thread this back on. And here I am using the ThorFire battery. You'll see it fits in quite nice and easily, slides in very simple, but there is one funny thing that I'd like to show you before I put this tail cap back on. Now here I have an Olight 18650 battery. When I go to install this, you can see, I mean, I am pushing on that and it is very hard. It will go in, but that's tough. So you'll see that different batteries are a slightly different size. I mean, it doesn't look like much, and it's almost hard to tell with the naked eye, but the machining on this is a little bit snug for those Olight batteries and maybe others. So it's just a note, something worth paying attention to. You'll see here the ThorFire batteries do work quite well. So no problem with their own factory batteries, and I will continue to use that for the remainder of this review. So now for this portion of the review, I will leave the camera in the fully manual mode and just dimming down my lights here. I'm going to basically go through these modes. So the first one I'm putting this on is the 1 lumen moonlight mode. Now immediately I put it on, I can't see it. I'm a little bit confused because the other flashlights both state that these are a 0.5 lumen mode. I'm going to take my TK15, and by long pressing the TK15 it does go to moonlight mode. So already, if you see here, I can use the TK15 to illuminate the stuff on my desk, but the VG, not so much. TK, VG. So side by side, it's really hard to tell, but this VG10S is actually on. Now side by side, here I have the VG10S. Here I have the VG15S side by side. Again, basically neither one you can see. They're like equally dim from what I can tell you, but you're really not going to see too much. So anyway, to me, the moonlight mode on this VG10S is a little bit lacking. I would like to see it a little bit brighter, at least a little more function like the TK15S. And even though the TK15S is reporting a 0.5 lumen versus the 1 lumen, it is certainly brighter. So I don't really understand that, but I'm not a flashlight expert, and maybe ThorFire could answer that one. Now moving on through the modes, like I told you, there is a nice spread between these different modes. So here I have it on the low mode, which is a 50 lumen mode. So that's pretty solid. And then again, I'm going to compare it to the VG15S. So VG10S, and here you have the VG15S. Now you can see immediately there's a different color in the beam pattern. This VG10S is a little bit warmer versus the VG15S is cooler. So similarly, here is the TK15 on the right and the VG10S on the left. Again, the beam of that 10S is warmer. Now bumping up to the next mode here, on this VG10S, we have a 300 lumen mode, and one more press gets you into that 1100 lumen mode. So overall, very nice beam. I like the overall quality. You'll see that it does have a nice tight overall hotspot with a little bit of flood to the side. It is quite bright and illuminates very nicely. So anyway, let's get this thing outside and see what we can see. So just wrapping things up here. When I turn on the flashlight, it does have memory mode, and the last mode I was on was that 1100 lumen mode. So this is high, very nice beam, very bright, nice tight hot spot in the middle with a good amount of flood on the sides. Now I'll cycle through the modes. Half press, that right now is in moonlight, basically useless. Another half press, here you go. So that's your low mode at 50 lumens. Still a pretty good amount of light. I like these low modes on these ThorFires. I think it's a good quality amount of light. That 50 lumen range is pretty good. It's certainly enough to see what you have to do, and it's not too much where you'd be like really bothering somebody if you were, say, camping or in a scenario where you really didn't want to blast somebody out. But then you need a little more light. Nice little half press there. This is the medium mode. This is a 300 lumen output, and again, more than enough to do plenty of work. Another half press, bam, that's your 1100, and then we're out. Comparing the VG10S on the left with the TK15 on the right. Again, a little bit different in terms of the output. You can see that the 10S has a little bit of a tighter hot spot and a little better of a thrower. As you see there how it just adds that extra illumination on that grass over there versus here it's a little bit darker. So you can see just how much better of a thrower that 10S is going to be. And you'll remember from last time illuminating that tree. So this here is the TK15. This here is the VG15S. And here is the VG10S. So comparing the 10S to the 15S, much brighter, tighter beam. You can see it overpowering as I hit that tree. Now overall it's pretty simple. This VG10S comes with the manual. Here you see the box. Came in a little bubble wrap and had a couple of spare O-rings. So pretty simple, just like the rest of them. No frills, but it definitely does the job. Now I'm just going to be a little bit critical about one thing, and that is if you look at the model on the side of this, it is not really centered in the middle of this kind of milled out area. And to me that makes it look just a little bit cheap. You know, I think they could do a better job on the manufacturing, just paying a little more close attention to that. And if you flip it over, you know, you'll see here that their logo is closer. It's not perfect, but it's definitely closer. And you know, what I actually do like is really, I love the look of this TK15. That to me is a little more subtle. And then on the side of the light, you just have, you know, the knurling and the pattern and the overall machining. So it's actually like a little more, I'd say, like higher quality looking than this. This to me just looks a little cheap and chintzy, and I think they could do a little bit better there, but that's just me being kind of nitpicky, and it doesn't obviously affect the function in the least. All right, so there you have it. A quick look at some beautiful products from ThorFire. I mean, very affordable, reasonably priced, nice quality. These flashlights just keep getting better and better. As I mentioned in the first video when I first started doing some work with ThorFire, I was a little bit suspect, but at this point they've won me over. Again, I mean, I very much do like these lights. They have some great overall qualities and features. I think they are definitely making improvements, and I am excited to see what they continue to come out with. So again, thank you very much, ThorFire, for working with me on this. I'm having a lot of fun, and I hope you guys are enjoying these reviews. So anyway, let's wrap this thing up. So all right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that 3-part series taking a look at these ThorFire flashlights. Again, thank you very much, ThorFire, for helping me out and for supporting me and working with me on these reviews. So alright guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.